Welcome to Steve's Cottage with Steve Horner. Steve Horner, a former radio talk show host, helps spotlight the source of today's social chaos while offering practical solutions to the problems negatively affecting you and your family. And now, here's Steve.
Hello, everybody. Come on in. Come on into the cottage. This is Steve Horner welcoming you to Steve's Cottage. Got a great show for you today, so sit back, stand up, do some exercises, pop a beer, whatever you want to do. It's only 25 minutes. It's going to go fast and furious because this is a hot topic. First off, you're saying, Steve, what's up with the hat? I am the captain of my own ship, okay? As I direct my life goes. I am the captain of my fate. And I suspect that many of you who have joined me on this show with the type of narrative that we jump into are of the same sort. Well, as I piece together this program, I'm almost starting to feel like a criminal attacking Jews in this way. I'm feeling almost guilty about doing this because I think I have been inflicted by the same Orwellian terms and the indoctrination that you and your family have been as well. And when I say Orwellian, I'm referring to George Orwell, a British author, who in the mid-20th century wrote his famous books, one of which is Animal Farm, and then 1984, where the book is about taking commonly used words and twisting them around to serve the purpose of the attacker, possibly, or of one's agenda. And that's what we're going to talk about today, okay? There's going to be a lot of conversation regarding those Orwellian terms. There have been in previous episodes, and there will be in forthcoming episodes. But I think the term Orwellian term is it's a commonly used one, often misunderstood one, but one that we should use regularly because it is used by my adversaries against me. Let's talk about causes to the chaos. We shouldn't expect cures unless we talk about causes, right? So what's the cause of today's chaos? Wait a minute. You're saying, Steve, come on. Chaos? It doesn't even really exist. And if you are one of those who perceives that the existence of today's social chaos doesn't exist, well, then you don't know your history. You've been caught up in these Orwellian terms and have been sentenced to a life of silence. It doesn't exist? Does that mean that your head is so deep in the sand and that you don't understand what's hurting you and your family? The dysfunctional behavior is all around us. Every day it's growing and has been since the early 70s. Every day it gets worse. It hurts you. It hurts you and your family. But maybe you're in denial about the existence of this dysfunctional chaos, much less what's causing it. Maybe you're cowardly and you don't want to lose your job or lose your wife's love or the support of your daughters. I understand Orwellian terms are poison. You don't want to be called a hater. You don't want to be called mean or a bully, so you keep your mouth shut. Orwellian terms are poison, and they're crippling. However, if we keep having the chaos and we don't get into the causes, then we're going to continue to rise in chaos. Abortion is a perfect example. In the narrative of abortion, we have breast cancer. Did you know that? They're tied. They're linked. But groups like the Susan Jew Komen group, the Pink Ladies at the Susan Jew Komen. Yes, I did substitute G for Jew for G because these are Jewish people. And if they were to talk about how to cure breast cancer, they would have to tell you that 90% of women who have a first trimester abortion in their first pregnancy end up with breast cancer sometime in their life. And if you don't believe me, go and see at least 100 different studies to verify this at abortionbreastcancer.com. ABC, abortionbreastcancer.com. And you'll see this. But the Susan Jew Komen people, they don't talk about this abortion as being a cause because that points the finger of blame at you, and then they don't receive they don't receive the charity. They don't receive the handouts. They don't receive the funding to support their agenda. So they keep shut up about the cause. Because abortion is a flashpoint item. You don't want to talk about it because it's affiliated with guilt, maybe some bad behavior. So let's just keep it zipped because we want your funding, and really, we don't care about the cause. And that's what keeps us from eliminating and reducing the chaos, is finding the cause, is a lot of the Orwellian terms, like Jew. Really? Hey, there's a Jew living down the street. Wow. A whole group of Jews were at the mall today. Whoa. My son is dating a Jew. The owner of the business is a Jew. The author of the newspaper article is a Jew. It has become toxic and head-turning, hasn't it? Same as saying Mexican. Oh, these Mexicans down there. Really? That sounds a little racist, Steve. I think the guy's a N-word. Now, that could be the N-word, or it could be Negro, or what, but you aren't to say it, are you? No, that's a flashpoint. Then you would be racist. And so you can't exercise your First Amendment rights. You can't speak your opinion. And that is the cause of today's chaos. You got to stay shut up. If you're a woman, you can call another woman a cunt. My books at stevehornerbooks.com are titled Cunt. C period, U period, N period, T period. Yes, women have their periods, and men have their exclamation points. But does the book sell? Not much. The sequel is called Consequences. That's the tragedies created by cunts. But in popular vernacular, you can't use the word. Women can, but not us white guys. We can't talk about queers, much less something like faggots. Alphabet people can call each other faggots and queers, but not Steve, the white guy, because I'm evil. I'm privileged. I am the source of all pain and anguish. And I, being not only a white guy, but an outspoken white guy, hell, man, I'm telling you, I'm protesting this idiot style of Americana, which is keeping people shut up. It's the silencing of the lambs. You sheep? You're a bunch of sheep out there. And I'm not talking about the Thriller with Anthony Hopkins. I'm talking about sheep who are silenced out there. And if you are listening to this and you're thinking, maybe I'm shackled by Orwellian terms designed to keep you quiet, Or maybe you're not. And maybe you're becoming offended by what I'm saying out here because you don't want to know the truth. You don't want to know the cause of the chaos. But I don't care. And I've told you this before. I don't care. Because you seem to be offended at what is the truth. And as a pragmatic white guy who believes in cause and effect, I'm looking at the cause, I'm telling you what the cause is, and if you don't want to believe it and you want to jump off the edge of the cliff at midnight with your blindfolds on, go. I will applaud you as you're sailing through the air. Because I'm looking at the source of the chaos, and if you understand the source of the chaos, and understand that it's not the race of the Jews, but it's only the behavior, well, then you can be on guard and scrutinize the news and scrutinize what you're hearing in society and ask questions and be ever vigilant because knowing is half the battle. Become an agitator. An agitator is like in your clothes washer. It stirs the dirty clothes around so that without agitation, you see, without agitation, nothing in the world ever comes clean. And do I feel good about being an agitator? Wow, I feel good. I knew that I would, yeah. Woo, I feel good. I knew that I would, yeah. So good. So good. I'm an agitator, baby. Wow. Join the club. Become an agitator. Because knowing where the stench is coming from, then we can work to curtail it. Now, here is what substantiates my diagnosis of the cause of the chaos. Karl Marx, the co-author of the Communist Manifesto, was a 19th century Jew. A lot of people don't know that in this day and age. Karl Marx was a Jew that was kicked out of over a dozen countries, you see, not because of his race, as is the Orwellian term to shut you up. Oh, you're a racist. No, I just don't like the bad behavior. Are you starting to see how these pieces connect? I don't like the behavior. I don't like liberalism. It only serves to enable people to be lazy and unproductive, which does not make them feel good. Makes them feel crummy, low self-esteem, and puts their dependence on the government. And that's what the Karl Marx Jews want you to do. That's called socialism, folks. You've heard that word bandied around quite a bit lately, haven't you? We conservatives, however, believe people are stronger than that. We are the non-racists. Jews are referenced as the chosen people, and I don't know by whom, probably other Jews. Folks, I'm going to tell you, Jews don't even believe in the divinity of Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit. I am a Catholic. We believe in the divinity of Jesus, of the Trinity. The God of the Bible is of the Trinity. So they don't believe in the Trinity, and so it has to be another God, because it's not the God of the Bible. Therefore, not God's chosen people. That's a contrived term. When thousands of Jews returned to Germany after World War II, most were not welcomed back into their former neighborhoods. Why? Not because of their race, because of their liberalism. Germany was a former conservative, productive country, And the Jews were perceived as the enemy because of their embracement of homosexuality and drugs and enlarging the government to enable the population to be lazy and to rely on the government. And that's what liberalism does. Socialism. It's basically anti-patriotic, anti-family, anti-church, anti-social. Ask a Jew why millions of people around the world are anti-Jew and why Semitism is rising. And if they have an answer at all, it'll be because, well, they're racist. But they won't be able to define that because it's liberalism. That's who the Democrats are. It's liberalism. Have you heard of the McCarthy era back in the 50s? I know you have. You're a smart cookie. It was all about anti-communist hearings in the 50s, right? Well, who was McCarthy pointing to? The answer is communists, but communists in Hollywood. Movie producers, Jewish actors, Jewish directors. That's who McCarthy believed were indoctrinating Americans with liberal, communistic Hollywood movies and messages. Get this. Ever wonder why Archie Bunker and All in the Family is still on television? Huh? Ever wonder that? A lot of these shows like that have been taken off over the years. Amos and Andy, but not Archie Bunker. Still on the reruns. Why? Produced by a Jew, supported by Jews. Why? Because it makes the white guy who has strong opinions, like Archie, raucous, loud, rude, strong opinions, makes him look like a bigot, racist, misogynist, makes him look like the enemy. And that's how Archie appears to younger generations. I don't want to be like that. Oh, Archie, he's bad. Mm-hmm. And that's why the Jews want to keep running them. How about The Simpsons on television? Been there for decades. Why is that there? Simpsons make dads look bad. Dad is an authority figure. We don't want authority figures. We want dopes and idiots running these families if they're there at all. We want to support single-parent moms. We don't want men. Men are wired differently. Men have that cause and effect, that pragmatism. Women, they're just sentimentalists. Oh, don't spank that child. Even though the kid needs to change his bad behavior, we want to remain sentimentalists. And that's what the Jewish government and socialism want, because they want you to depend on them. Jews run the media. They slant the news in favor of the underdog. And that is what creates the social divides. And if you disagree, you're labeled with one of these Orwellian terms, such as mean, crazy, hater. Oh, you mean old white guy? Angry old white guy? You old Archie Bunker? You Homer Simpson dope? But you better conform if you want to keep your job. You want to keep your wife, want to keep your daughters happy. You better compromise your principles, just like a whore compromises her principles for the sake of money and comfort. That's not being ever vigilant in my book or my books. Plug, Stevehornerbooks.com. Check them out, folks. The single parenting book was written in 1995. It's been updated several times, but it speaks about a lot of these issues. When I was writing these, it was like I'm writing these with a crystal ball. I reread some of these now and then, and I'm fascinated, and I'm so proud of myself because they are so true with the changing times. But if you keep your mouth shut, you're going to have more chaos, more dysfunction. And that's the source, folks. That's the source of the chaos, is keeping your mouth shut to satisfy your wife, your daughters, your boss, your politically correct boss. And the chaos continues. Say, talk about chaos. How about that poor Donald Trump? My gosh, I don't know how that guy is going to remain sane after trying to re-win the presidency from Dopey while fighting all these huge felony cases. I contacted this attorney, this black woman attorney for Fulton County in Georgia, Fannie Willis. And I said, I was just greeted by a voicemail. Welcome to the office of Madam Fannie Willis. We're happy you called. Please leave a message. Well, I really laid into it. And of course, she's being accused by fellow Republicans as scheming to, put Trump in jail simply out of reparation and retaliation for him being the angry white guy who wants to drain the swamp and wants to get to the source of the chaos. And so I told the voicemail, I said, the term madam is funny, but it's appropriate. Because in my generation, a madam was the person who was in charge of the whorehouse. Oh, yes, the madam will be right down. And then she would assign a certain woman to this man, or maybe a good customer, or maybe not such a good customer. And so, the madam would be the business person, the owner, the orchestrator of the whorehouse. And I said, that's just perfect to call her a madam because she's a whore. She's compromising her principles for the sake of money and tenor and image, because it's the same thing as Alvin Bragg and Letitia James, black people who are venomous about Trump because he is the angry white guy who wants to get to the source of the chaos. And with these blacks, they are on the shirt tails of the Jews who are using them as puppets. Just like they're using sentimental women. They don't want guys like Trump in charge because it destroys their platform. Well, how'd you like that? Say, visit SteveHornerBooks.com and find a selection that interests you from the Steve Horner collection. They're all priced right. They're at SteveHornerBooks.com. Well, folks, this has been a ball. I hope you were able to pick yourself up after hitting some of these hard topics that you won't hear anywhere else. But they're honest, they're sincere, they're historically accurate, they're from the heart and my soul. And this is the kind of stuff that I preach as I'm the captain of my own ship. And as you navigate your tour and you sometimes rise to the top of those mountains, take the untraveled trail now and then, because I'll promise you, folks, it'll give you a better feeling about yourself, a better scenery, and richer rewards. So until next time, this is Steve Horner. You take real good care of yourself.
Thanks for joining us. Visit Steve's Cottage again with Steve Horner.